The Eternal Glow. Marilyn Monroe's journey from shadows to stardom. Marilyn Monroe. Just saying her name conjures up that iconic image. The white dress billowing over a New York subway grate, her laughter ringing out like a melody from a bygone era. Marilyn not just as a sex symbol, but as a woman of profound depth, vulnerability, and resilience. She's the ultimate screen icon, a blend of glamour and tragedy that still tugs at our hearts more than 60 years after her passing. In this deep dive, we'll walk through her life, her career, the roles that made her immortal, and the personal storms that shaped her soul. Grab a cup of coffee, settle in, because Marilyn's story isn't just history. It's a heartfelt reminder of the human cost of fame. Born Norma Jeane Mortenson on June 1, 1926, in the bustling heart of Los Angeles, Marilyn's early years were anything but the fairy tale her later persona suggested. Her mother, Gladys Pearl Baker, worked as a film cutter at Consolidated Film Industries, but Gladys's battle with paranoid schizophrenia cast a long shadow over Norma's childhood. Gladys was in and out of mental institutions, leaving little Norma to bounce between foster homes and an orphanage. Imagine a wide-eyed girl, barely 8 years old, navigating a world of strangers, feeling the sting of abandonment every day. Biographers like Lois Banner have pieced together tales of possible sexual abuse during those foster years, a lodger's unwanted advances that left scars no amount of stardom could fully erase. Norma developed a stutter, a shy demeanor that hid a burning desire for love and stability. She once said, "I used to think as I looked out on the Hollywood night, there must be thousands of girls sitting alone like me, dreaming of becoming a movie star. But I'm not going to worry about them. I'm dreaming the hardest." At just 16, to escape the orphanage's grasp, Norma married her neighbor, James Dougherty, a factory worker bound for the Merchant Marines. It was 1942, World War II raging, and marriage seemed like a ticket to normalcy. But Norma, already dreaming bigger, felt trapped in the role of housewife. "I was dying of boredom during the war," she later confessed. Their union lasted 4 years, ending in divorce in 1946 as Norma chased her ambitions. Dougherty would later reflect fondly on her, but for Marilyn, it was the first step out of the shadows. She dyed her brunette hair blonde, adopted her mother's maiden name, Monroe, combined with a studio-suggested first name, Marilyn, after Marilyn Miller, and stepped into the spotlight. Her entry into Hollywood was as unassuming as it was fateful. While working at a munitions factory during the war, spraying airplane parts and assembling parachutes, Norma caught the eye of photographer David Conover, who was shooting morale-boosting images for Yank magazine. Those photos launched her as a pin-up model, gracing covers of magazines like Laugh and US Camera. By 1946, she'd signed a 6-month contract with 20th Century Fox, earning $125 a week. Her screen debut, a blink-and-you-miss-it role in Dangerous Years, 1947, followed by Skudda Hu, Skudda Hey, 1948, where her line, "Hi, Rad," was mostly cut. A brief stint at Columbia Pictures yielded Ladies of the Chorus, 1948, her first leading role as a burlesque dancer, but the studio dropped her. Undeterred, Marilyn hustled, posing for calendars, including the infamous nude shots in 1949 that would later haunt and help her. The turning point came in 1950. John Huston's The Asphalt Jungle gave her a small but memorable part as Angela Finlay, the mistress of a crooked lawyer played by Lewis Calhern. Her sultry line delivery, "Uncle Lon is very sick, but I think if you were to talk to him," sparked notice. That same year, Joseph L. Mankiewicz's All About Eve paired her with Bette Davis, where Marilyn's brief appearance as Miss Caswell, a naive starlet, stole scenes with her wide-eyed innocence. Davis herself reportedly said, "That girl is going to be a big star." These roles weren't just gigs, they were lifelines, pulling her from obscurity into the glow of possibility. But fame came with baggage. In 1952, those 1949 nude photos surfaced, threatening scandal. Marilyn turned it around brilliantly, admitting she'd posed out of desperation to pay rent. The public ate it up. Her honesty made her relatable, human. By 1953, Marilyn was Hollywood's hottest commodity. Niagara, directed by Henry Hathaway, cast her as Rose Loomis, a scheming wife plotting murder amid the thundering falls. It was a film noir triumph, showcasing her dramatic chops alongside her allure, those hips swaying in that infamous walk. But it was the comedies that cemented her as a box office queen. Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, under Howard Hawks, paired her with Jane Russell as Lorelei Lee, the gold-digging showgirl belting out, "Diamonds are a girl's best friend." Oh, that number, Marilyn in pink satin, surrounded by adoring men, it's pure joy. A wink at materialism, with her breathless voice adding vulnerability. Co-star Russell became a lifelong friend, recalling Marilyn's nerves. She was terrified, but once the camera rolled, she was magic. Then came How to Marry a Millionaire, with Betty Grable and Lauren Bacall, a frothy tale of 3 models hunting rich husbands. Marilyn's Paula Debevoise, nearsighted and charming, stole hearts. These films grossed millions, but Marilyn chafed at the dumb blonde label. "I can be smart when it's important," she quipped. "But most men don't like it." Her rebellion peaked in 1954. Tired of low pay and typecasting, she walked out on Fox, fleeing to New York with photographer Milton Green to form Marilyn Monroe Productions. It was a bold move for a woman in male-dominated Hollywood. That year, she married Joe DiMaggio, the Yankee legend, in a San Francisco courthouse. Their romance was storybook, baseball hero meets movie goddess, but jealousy poisoned it. DiMaggio hated her sexy image, especially during the filming of The 7-Year Itch, 1955, directed by Billy Wilder. That subway grate scene, with her skirt flying up, drew 5,000 onlookers and ended their 9-month marriage. Yet, DiMaggio's love endured. He'd send roses to her grave for decades. The film itself was a smash. Marilyn's The Girl, a hilarious portrait of temptation. Her chemistry with Tom Ewell electric. In New York, Marilyn reinvented herself. She studied at the Actors Studio under Lee Strasberg, delving into method acting. "I want to be an artist, not an erotic freak," she declared. Her 1956 return to Fox included Bus Stop, directed by Joshua Logan, where she played Cherie, a saloon singer dreaming of Hollywood. Ditching the glamour, Marilyn wore tattered stockings, her performance raw and poignant, earning a Golden Globe nod. Critics raved. It was proof she was more than a pretty face. That year, she married Arthur Miller, the Pulitzer-winning playwright, converting to Judaism in a quiet ceremony. Their intellectual bond inspired hope, but miscarriages and ectopic pregnancies shattered her dreams of motherhood. Endometriosis plagued her, causing agonizing pain and surgeries, yet she pushed on. Nihas, the pinnacle of her career? Some Like It Hot, 1959. Billy Wilder's cross-dressing comedy with Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon as musicians fleeing mobsters, disguising as women. Marilyn's Sugar Cane, the ukulele-playing singer, was luminous. Her "I Wanna Be Loved by You," a sultry whisper that won her a Golden Globe. Production was hell. Her tardiness and line flubs frustrated Wilder, who later admitted she was worth it. The film, now a classic, grossed $25 million and ranks among AFI's funniest. But behind the laughs, Marilyn battled demons, barbiturates for sleep, amphetamines for energy, psychoanalysis for sanity. Her 1960 film, Let's Make Love, with Yves Montand, sparked affair rumors, straining her marriage to Miller. Her final completed film, The Misfits, 1961, written by Miller and directed by John Huston, was a poetic farewell. Playing Rosalind Tabor, a divorcee among cowboys, Clark Gable, Montgomery Clift, Eli Wallach, Marilyn poured her soul into the role, her anguish mirroring her crumbling marriage. Filming in Nevada's desert was grueling. She collapsed from exhaustion, and Gable died shortly after. "It was like working with ghosts," she said. Divorced from Miller in 1961, Marilyn checked into Payne Whitney Psychiatric Clinic, feeling trapped like her mother. Released, she bought a Brentwood home, seeking roots. "1962 brought highs and lows. At Madison Square Garden, she sang "Happy Birthday, Mr. President" to JFK in a skin-tight rhinestone gown, sexy, vulnerable, iconic. Rumors of affairs with the Kennedys swirled, but evidence points to fleeting encounters. Fired from Something's Got to Give for absences, she posed for a Life magazine spread, defiant. Negotiations to resume filming were underway when, on August 4, 1962, at 36, she was found dead in her bed, barbiturates in her system. Coroner Thomas Noguchi ruled probable suicide. But theories of foul play persist. CIA, mob, Kennedys. Joe DiMaggio arranged her funeral, barring Hollywood rats, as he called them. Buried in a green Pucci dress, her crypt at Westwood Village Memorial Park became a shrine. Marilyn's legacy? It's eternal. The American Film Institute ranks her 6th among female legends. Smithsonian calls her one of the most significant Americans. Andy Warhol's silk screens immortalized her image. Madonna, Lady Gaga channeled her spirit. She wasn't just a bombshell. She challenged norms, fought for equal pay, and exposed fame's cruelty. Hollywood is a place where they'll pay you $1,000 for a kiss and 50 cents for your soul, she once said. Her vulnerability resonates. In a world of polished perfection, Marilyn was real, flawed, fierce, forever. As I wrap this up on Screen Icons, I can't help but feel a pang. Marilyn Monroe wasn't born a star. She forged herself from pain into light. She dreamed the hardest, loved the deepest, and left us yearning for more. If her story moves you, hit subscribe. Let's keep these icons alive.